Good morning and welcome to episode number 13 of Crafting the Bifrost. This will probably be our last episode in which we'll be crafting both the legend itself, our precursor, and then combining that with all the other materials we have to make the Bifrost. So first, let's start by opening this chest of rainbows, which we received as a reward for doing the third tier achievement. And that gave us some recipes and essence of rainbows, which we're going to need to craft our precursor. So, alright, there's our recipes. And I believe I have all the materials that we're going to need. If not, I will grab them and then come back. But let's see. Okay, so legendary materials.
I'm not at liberty to say.
So we need to make, there it is, the legend. And it is berserker stats. For some reason I thought they were soldier stats. Maybe legendary weapons or, I don't know. I thought the original one was soldiers. Anyway, we already have the essence of rainbows. We need the spirit of the perfected staff, which we can salvage from the staff I'm currently holding. A carved teardrop and a carved beam. So for this we need sculptor's tool purchased from Lord Joshua the sculptor in Beetleton. So okay, we need to go to Beetleton. Didn't know that. And then I think we're actually gonna need two of these. I'm just gonna go ahead and craft both. I think we need one for the shaft and one for the head, or the teardrop as they call it.
Valuable.
Alright, so that's sculptor's tools. Let me just preview what the other one is. So I need to buy two sculptor's tools. And I also need some more planks by the look of it. Alright, luckily I have plenty of ancient wood. As for... what was the other one? Elder wood? I might have to buy some more of that. Because I think I used most of it doing the other steps. So let's get this up to... I made it say it needed 50? 100? Cancel it just to see. It was, okay, good. And then elderwood. Yeah, I need a little bit more elderwood. But okay, I'll get those in a bit. For now, let's go to Beetleton. And is that where Atticus's manor is? Yes, the Shire of Beetleton. I've done that dungeon in a long, long time. Probably the second one I ever did. After Esclonian Catacombs. I remember we did have like a guild like dungeon night, and I did it here. I guess it was story mode at that point, but I did the explorable ones later on. Alright, so we are here in Beetleton. Is it the Heart Vendor that gives the tools? There's a couple of merchants up there as well. There's some sculptures. Or Lord Joshua, didn't they say it was Lord Joshua? Yep. Hello, I'm Lord Joshua. What can I do for you? What do you do here? He's on the municipal council, chairman of the arts committee. I'm a sculptor. In fact, this is a statue of Lord Beetles. This statue of Lord Beetlestone is my work. Don't know who Lord Beetlestone is, but I guess he likes dogs. I'm looking for sculpting tools. Could you help me with that? And there we go. So I'm going to buy two of those because that's what we need. And oh, magic snowman. It is still Winter's Day. That guy has the debuff. Well, got me first. Alright, so I'm going to go buy some elderwood and then I will be right back. Okay, so elderwood has been purchased and refined so that you don't have to sit through all of that. So before we go back into the crafting menu, let's unequip the perfected staff. And there it is, perfected staff, and we have to salvage this to receive its spirit. So let's use a black lion salvage kit. And there we go, got some wooden stuff too. That's what we need, the spirit of the perfected staff, used to craft the legend. Alright, so... oh, now we have enough elderwood to make that, I guess, okay. But not going to use it for that, going to use it for this. Alright, so that's 2 of the 4, and we have enough materials for this. So there's our carved teardrop, the top of our staff, and a carved beam, which will be the shaft. Alright, and that's the 4 pieces. Even though the legend actually doesn't look like that, unless they changed it. Maybe they changed it? I hope they changed it. Because the one I was using before actually looks a little like the legend used to look. I've obviously never had a legend, so I'm not sure if that's an exact replica or just similar. But, alright, here we go. The result of our long journey, gathering all these materials, doing all these collections. Some easy, some difficult, some expensive. And now we have it, the legendary precursor, the legend. and you can only craft it, of course, once per account. But it is not account bound. You could sell it if you wanted to. I, however, do not, because I would be selling it at a loss, given all the coin I put into making this thing. The journey was worth it. Hail, O penultimate creator! I am delighted to hear of your prowess and power, and of your progress in attaining the necessary precursor to create your legendary weapon. You have strode the lands of Tyria like a giant, battled its fell beasts, and succeeded where so many have turned aside. Congratulations! Go see Miyani, who holds the recipes necessary for your final steps in creating your legendary weapon. She will be expecting you. Do not falter, success is within your grasp. Yours, Grandmaster Craftsman Hobbs. Alright, I don't know about recipes because you throw them into the Mystic Forge. I'm pretty sure all the rest of the stuff. Or do you? I don't know, it might actually be... That's a fair point. Alright, so where is it? The legend, there we go. And see, soulbound on use, but it is not actually soulbound. You could sell it if you wanted to. I'm going to go ahead and bind it though, because I don't see any reason not to. Yeah, I'm going to be combining it with everything else anyway. So, are you sure you was just soulbind the legend? Yes, I am. And we have the skin for it too. Alright, cool. They did do a new skin for it. I like that. It makes a lot more sense, because it actually looks like the Bifrost, just without all the enchantments. Perfect. That's really cool. Okay, so let's go see Miyani then. And I guess, I think actually now that I'm thinking about it, some of the gifts and all, you do have to not use the Mystic Forge. You use like artificing and stuff. I think it's artificing and cooking. But we'll see. Alright. Now what do the recipes cost? I think just karma. That's right, I forgot all about these. Okay. So, let's see which ones I need. Ice is for Frostfang. I don't think I need Gift of Metal. No. Do I need wood? I'm pretty sure I don't. I need Gift of Energy. 10 gold, which is just a bit of a gold sink. I need... Let's see, there's gotta be at least one more, I think. Gift of Color, I think we need, yes. That it? What are these for? Sure. For the send it back pieces, and that's a Tome of Knowledge. I can buy one of those. Just a way to convert your writs of experience so they don't become like these huge stacks. Alright, so... Okay, what I'm going to do now is clear out my inventory a little bit to make some space. It looks like most of these things are just like, you know, trophies. You can go ahead and sell them once you're done with them, but I'm going to keep them at least for the time being, because it was quite a long and interesting experience gathering these star fragments and paint to make these paintings and all these different tools, learning how to create a staff. So I'm going to clear those out though, make some space, grab my other materials, and I'll be right back. Okay, so inventory has been cleared up a bit. I put all the journey items in the same row, and then here you can see all the stuff we stored in my bank in an earlier episode that we're going to need to create the Bifrost itself, along with, of course, the staff which is in my hands. So this is the recipe for the Gift of Energy. I'm going to go ahead and consume it. And even though I'm not currently a chef, I'm actually going to go ahead and consume this as well, because I did learn chefing at one point. I haven't been a chef in probably the month I started the game, or maybe 2 or 3 months after that. But I'm going to retrain it again just for this, because I am going to need it. So I think it's all account bound, so you could probably do it on a different character and then send it over, but I'm not. So what I am going to do now, though, instead of just standing here in the Mystic Forge in the middle of Lion's Arch like everybody does, I am actually going to go to a few select locations around Tyria that are some of my favorite, and use these Mystic Forge nodes. They're only about a gold a piece on the trading post, and you can open the Mystic Forge there. So it's kind of a cool way to go around and do it in a special location, or in a location that's special to you. Sorry, it's early in the morning here, a little distracted, but I'm excited. Hopefully you guys are excited too. It's the end of a long journey, and I'm glad you could share it with me. Alright, so I picked out 5 locations that have some significance for me in my Guild Wars 2 journey. But before we do that, I'm going to head to where I guess you could say it all began, at least lore-wise. for Erev in the grand city of Radisum. So, okay, so here we're going to go to my favorite crafting stations. And let's go to the chef one first. And we'll have to give up, I think we need, what, artificer and cooking, so we'll give up tailoring for now. We don't really need tailoring. Here's Praz, the master chef.
How interesting.
I'd like to deactivate tailor. Alright, it costs like, what was it, 40 silver or 4 gold or something like that? I forgot what it actually comes out to be. But not a big deal. Alright, so... Again, sorry. Okay, so now we're... There we go. Gift of Color, Legendary. And that requires 195 dyes, 100 opal orbs, 250 piles of crystalline dust, and a Gift of Zyton. Let's do it. Used for creating the Bifrost. Alright, and now we have the Gift of Color. And that might... Did that remove things? Yeah, I guess it removes things from your inventory first, then your collectibles, which makes sense. Alright, so we have the Gift of Color. Let's head up to the Artifice area. Dolyak. And we will create the Gift of... What is it? Gift of Energy, I think, is the other one. And those are the two gifts you make with your crafting skills. Which I think was originally like a way to make sure people had, like, you know, part of the game is crafting, so make sure you have max crafting skills, which is cool, but at this point having 400 in crafting skill is not that big of a deal. Having 500, that's a little pricey. But for Ascended Gear, it's necessary. Alright, so it's probably under... What was the last one under? I already forgot. Didn't really look. I was going to say Refinement. It could be under Legendary Component. They changed it. Didn't look like they did. Crafting Component then? Might be under here. You can do a search, can't you? I just now realized that. Crafting Component. There we go. Gift of Energy to create the Bifrost as well as some other different legendaries. And that just costs basically 250 of each of the 4 highest tiers of dust: crystalline, incandescent, luminous, and radiant.
I could hardly function at all yesterday.
So there we go. Our Gift of Energy.
Maybe someone borrowed it and simply neglected to return it.
Perhaps. I eventually found
Okay, and I thought we needed 250 of those. Maybe we only needed 100. Either way, alright, so we have, so these are both the Gift of the Bifrost, the Gift of Energy and the Gift of Color. We also need 100 Icy Runestones. Have. And we need the Superior Sigil, yep. Put that down there for now. We already have our 77 Mystic Clovers from one of the earlier episodes. And that's going to make the Gift of Fortune along with some Ectos, the Gift of Magic, and the Gift of Might, which we have yet to create. And then for the Gift of Mastery, we need the Bloodstone Shard, which we bought with the skill point thingies from Miyani. We need 250 Obsidian Shards. We need the Gift of Exploration and the Gift of Battle. Basically means we've completed a lot of different game modes. Karma farming, or fractal farming, or laurel farming. We've done a lot of spirit point farming, whatever they're called, spirit shards. In like the open PvP world, Gift of Exploration for exploring the entire open PvP world, and Gift of Battle for doing World v World. Okay, so now we're going to go to the first of my 5 locations I picked out, and that is going to be here in Store and Draw, which is of course where all Asura begin the game, including Little Arev here. Still remember that day so long ago when I first picked up Guild Wars 2 and turned it on. I had no idea if I would like the game or hate it, but I ended up loving it. So this is where you fight that giant golem in the introduction cutscene thing. Let's stand up here. Why not? This would be a good location. I don't remember where you like actually start. But yep, this is when I first journeyed onto the world, and I like instantly fell in love with it. How beautiful it was, and never looked back since. It's been one of my favorite games I've ever played, and only my second real MMO. Alright, so I'm going to stand back a bit because I don't know if it's going to deploy this thing or just actually open the Mystic Forge. This is my first time ever using one of these. Just opens it. Alright, cool. So what we are going to do, and I want to make sure I get the recipe right, to make the Gift of Magic and the Gift of Might, you need 250 Powerful Blood, and okay, it already makes it pretty easy for you to tell. Powerful Venom Sacs, the Elaborate Totems, and the Crystalline Dust. And this should forge the Gift of Magic. And there it is, Gift of Magic. And then the second one, the Gift of Might, needs Vicious Fangs, 250 Armored Scales, Vicious Claws, and Ancient Bones. And of course, this is basically just your way of making sure you either farmed lots of these materials from different parts of Tyria or just bought them all with gold. And if you've been playing long enough to get Legendary, you probably have close to this amount already from everything, or you could at least refine the lower tier mats to do this. But most people tend to use theirs as they go or sell them off. And in that case, you can just buy them back. It's the same result in the long run. So here we go, the Gift of Might. Those are the last two, I guess, sub-gifts we'll need. And then we have 3 more of the major gifts to make, and we'll combine each of those 3 major gifts with the legend itself to create the Bifrost. This is where my journey began. The second place is a place you've already seen if you've seen my opening Tequatl boxes and all that stuff, all those series. It is in Timberline Falls, and it is, in my opinion, one of, if not the most beautiful areas in the entire game. It's probably going to be blocked. This waypoint's usually contested, but... And I think Mordredmaw's actually to blame for that, so it was really satisfying killing him because he destroyed all my favorite waypoints. At least the 4 Mariner one is restored, so that's something. Alright. So we're going to head up here.
You look useful.
Make a magic snowman on the way. Ta-da! Throw a snowball. Okay, it's right up here on this rock bridge. Actually, kind of like either daybreak or dusk here. We'll say it's daybreak, because it's daybreak in real life. Kind of. A little after, but... It's a shame, because there's probably not... No, nobody else is in the guild at this point. I kind of want to wait and share with my guildies, but, yeah, it's okay. I'll show it to them when they wake up. I'm too excited at this point to make it. I'll share it with the crows. Alright, crows. And, Explorer Ranger in here. Alright, see, this is one of my favorite, like, vistas in the game. Not an actual vista, but... Hard to beat that view. My Jotun buddies out there. And it's even more beautiful in the daytime, as you can see in my other videos. Alright, so let's do our second Mystic Conduit. And we'll go ahead and take the, let's see, the Gift of, don't remember where we do them in. Gift of Energy, where is it? The Gift of Color, the Icy Runestones, which you bought from that guy up in Frostgorge, and the Sigil of Multiplication, which is super cheap to get. And we have the Gift of the Bifrost. Pretty cool looking icon there. Alright, and then after Timberline, we are going to go to, this might take a little while to get to. I might place the video. I want to go to the Artesian Waters. I don't think I've been there, honestly, since I did the quest. But this is where we cleansed ore, which was, the main quest of the game. The end of the main storyline, so... Timberline represents all the map exploration and completion I did. And the Artesian Waters represents all the story questing I did. The question is how to get there. I remember it being, I think maybe it was down here? The Penitent Path, I think it actually was. Or the Penitent Path is the one through the mountain. I'm going to look it up, because so long since I've been here, I really don't remember anymore. And I do think it was, like a difficult location to get to. Or, oh, I misspelled it. The Artesian Waters. There we go. And... doesn't actually say how to get there. Is it possible to get there besides going into story quest? That is something I'm not actually sure of. So I'm going to go to the Google. You have to go around the Cathedral of Verdance, and there is an underwater passageway, so I think it's over there. But yeah, he does say I'm not sure if you can access it unless you're doing story quests. So we'll see. If not, we'll go as close as we can. Stupid Risen. Some things never change. I remember really enjoying the first time I went here because it feels like the Risen is like Zaitan's domain, his evil kingdom. And it was definitely challenging for a new level like 70 something. I guess it was level 80 by then, probably. I went to the story quest. Do I have to go around this maze? I'm just gonna go this way. 4 is very confusing. That also never changes, despite having spent a lot of time here farming it for various reasons over the ages. Doing all the temple events and the Ara event. If I can't get too close, I can always just go and do the Ara event, or the Ara door. That's where we defeated Zaitan, essentially. That'd be cool, too. But I really hope we can get in here. It'd be a shame if they shut off, like, one of these areas. Except when you're doing the story. Like, that. If they spent all this time designing this cool area, why not let players return to it? So I'm gonna swim up this stream. I guess you could have just jumped off the cathedral if this is what I'm thinking of. There's a waterfall. Alright, so far it looks promising. Yeah, I think we can go there. Alright. Unless there's like a giant door sitting in the end there. This is really cool too, because it's someplace you would never find unless you were on the story quest, so it makes sense that it's a little bit hidden. I guess these guys found it, then again they live here, so they've probably they have a lot of time to wander around. Weird. I don't want these guys to annoy me during my... Ooh. Don't die, that'd be really sucky. See, even in like full ascended gear, level 80, being experienced with the game, Risen are still no joke. All those conditions make them formidable foes. Alright. Maybe we can slip around these guys. Is this door going to be closed? Oh, okay, this is a mini dungeon, I guess. That's cool, got achievement points, but I think this door is going to be locked unless you are on the story quest. Which is really unfortunate. I really want to go back in there, but that's okay. Are those guys aggroed? I think they are. So I'm going to try to kill them before my golem goes away. That one is a veteran though, so it could be a little difficult. I wonder if this is actually a little challenging though. It's a mini dungeon. There's a chest at the end. Sweet. Are they respawning? It feels like they're respawning. That's cool, I completed a mini dungeon I never knew existed. Alright. So this is unfortunately as close to the Artesian Waters as we're going to get, but it'll do. Okay. So, no way to sneak through. Alright, so. Good enough though, the place I cleansed door, more or less. Let's use... Where is it? Forge node. I got extras just because I didn't know if it was one per use or one per like opening and closing. We had to see it's the latter. All right, and we need the Gift of Fortune, which is these Mystic Clovers, and Globs of Ecto, and the Gift of Magic, the Gift of Might. And of course, this is basically the way of ensuring that you just have lots of gold or resources. And there it is, the Gift of Fortune. Something is attacking me. Prison. No, don't shout for your friends. Just me and you fight 101. Why can't I hurt you? There we go. Alright, so that's location number 3. 2 more to go. And next, I'm going to go... Oh, seriously?
That'll silence you.
Stupid prison. Alright, so Lion's Arch represents a lot of things, really. Obviously, it's the capital city, or not the capital city, but like the main hub of the game. I've always spent a lot of time here. Probably not as much as Red Assume, but pretty close. Especially the old Red Assume, or the old Lion's Arch I spent a lot of time in. Because it was easier to travel to, and at that point, I actually cared about travel costs a little bit. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I remember like the old trading post. I spent a lot of time there at that trading post. I barely remember what it looked like, but I do. It was the old like, Black Lion Trading Company building. It was like a ship. And then also, one of the reasons I would have come here is because of the Scarlet event, which was probably the best time I've had playing this game was doing those escort the refugee quests where you all to work together to save as many as you could and get the best rewards. That was a lot of fun. I spent hours and hours doing that with guildies and friends, and it was a good time. And it felt impactful because of the story, too. Like, Scarlet was actually attacking Lion's Arch. I mean, she came and attacked this place, which we figured if any place was safe, it'd be here. And it wasn't. So the war really came home. And the rebuilding was cool, and the Breachmaker fight was really cool. Just a lot of lore happened here. So I hear this is as good a place as any. And I'm going to go to the lighthouse, the new lighthouse, because it's a great view of the city, and it's up high, which is cool. And the lighthouse keeper, I remember seeing his daughter yelling to him to say, be safe, and then he didn't quite make it, which was really sad and touching. And the memorial wall, seeing the tribute to Lion's Arch, that was really cool too. They did a great job with the whole arc, I think, all the way up through the rebuilding. That was really well done. Diving goggles, yay, okay. Maybe we'll go diving on the way down. But yeah, we're so high up we can actually not even see Lion's Arch mostly. You can see parts of it. See the vista while we're here. Not sure if it'll actually show us anything of Lion's Arch itself. It's probably focused on the lighthouse. But still, we are here in the highest part of the greatest city in Tyria, besides Rasum. Ready to craft, there we go, the last component we're going to need to make our legendary. So let's go out to the little diving board plank here. And we are going to create the Gift of Mastery, which is appropriate. Alright, so for that we need a Bloodstone Shard bought from Miani, our Obsidian Shards bought with Karma, our Gift of Exploration, which you only have... Crafting Material Scribe, interesting. Wonder what scribes make with those. I'm not going to give mine up though, you only get 2 per map completion and it takes a long time. I'm honestly not sure if I will ever do another entire world map completion again. Maybe years down the road once I've forgotten everything and want to spend more time in the game. And of course, the Gift of Battle from all of my world travels.
Quite a reward.
And there we go, Gift of Mastery. So, okay, let's go ahead and... Diving goggles. Whee! Do some backflips, twists. Down where the Breachmaker was. Where Scarlet first tapped into the hub of leyline energy and sent ripples through the ley lines that would awaken Mordremoth and begin the story that would lead to Heart of Thorns. Swim by and see the wreckage while we're here. I know it's still here because I remember having swum down here before. The ruins of old Lion's Arch, I guess. Let's see, it's being constantly rebuilt. Oh, it's below us. Okay. Of course, not much of it is left, but there's the drill snapped off. You can even see the little glowing effects there. Area is still rich with ley energy. I thought about using it here, but using the Mystic Conduit underwater seemed dangerous. Spectral bits. That's right, you need this for part of Maudry, that's what it is. So, okay, so I'm going to break the video, and when we come back, we will put our gifts together and create the Bifrost. Alright, so for the final leg of our journey, I've decided that you can probably guess the location at this point, because we were there not too long ago, actually. We're going to go to the place that probably has the highest concentration of, well, I don't know about that, but definitely has a high concentration of leyline energy. And that is the leyline hub upon which Omad built his machine, and where, I'm going to talk about something, and where Arav got his glimpse into the eternal alchemy. And when I think of the character, I think he's really big into like the eternal alchemy and trying to study it and understand the way everything in the world acts together with every creature's fate and destiny all intertwined. So I figured that was probably a major, maybe even the moment of his life, getting to see a vision of the eternal alchemy. Or of the all, I believe it's called. The Tyria itself surrounded by 6 other six other essences, whether they're represented by dragons or realms or just circles on an animation. Alright, so here's the ley line, which Scarlet uncovered so long ago. Or Scarlet, when she was the assistant of Omad, I guess. Plus this was this was like the culmination of of a really cool arc in the Living Story, which was also some bad textures there. I need to replant the moss. It was a really cool arc in the Living Story, and doing the Living Story was also some of my favorite times in this game. So hopefully they keep up with that when they do the Living Story Season 3.
Accelerate.
And begin our quest against the next Elder Dragon. Yeah, I guess that there probably is a more concentration of Leyline energy below Lion's Arch where the Breachmaker was, or if you actually went where the Mouth of Mordremoth was, that's also said to be a hub. But hard to measure them against one another, but this is a pretty good one. Now, can we climb up here? Hope we can, but probably not. We unfortunately, once again, cannot go back into the machine, which again is really unfortunate. I want to go inside. Apparently these runes actually mean something too in Asura, like if you actually speak Asura, or if you look it up on the wiki. It's too shiny, too slick. Can actually go up there. Alright, so I guess I can do it in front of the machine then. Shame I can't get on top of the machine. Where's a glider when you need one, right? Could go right on top of it then. There's no way to really launch yourself in this game like there is in Star Wars, where you can use the Guardian push to get there. If you're wondering why I'm stalling, I'm actually waiting for a friend to come. Zeki or Mirelf is going to be here, although she might already be here now, just in a different zone. I'm going to wait her to a group and see. But yeah, I think I'm going to probably stand... I can't stand directly under it, I'll stand in front of it then. There it is, Omad's machine. Link between this world and the beyond. Alright. There she is. Alright, so this is it. Let me unequip. Now let's show it one more time. That's the legend, so I'm going to unequip the legend. I brought out my toy golem, Akdi. Since he's been the pet I've used the longest. I only had Loppy the Jackalope for the last year or so. Alright, so let's use my Mystic Forge conduit. And we are going to put the legend. The gift of the Bifrost, the gift of fortune, and the gift of mastery. And here we go. And there it is, the Bifrost. Let me link it. My legendary weapon. Now we're going to equip it. You can of course sell it because it is a countdown on use. There we go. But I'm definitely going to use it after all that. And there's our achievements. 30. Leaving a rainbow trail behind. My first and probably only legendary weapon, at least for a long while. Culmination of our journey. So, alright, hopefully you guys found this series to be enjoyable. I'm definitely happy with my new weapon, and I'll probably be using it in any future Guild Wars 2 videos, at least ones in which I use the staff. I definitely recommend, if you're going to make a legendary weapon, to do those journeys. I didn't think... Overall, they did a pretty good job designing them. There were definitely things I would change, like the stupid shatter thing. Like, they eliminated RNG by adding more RNG, but at least it wasn't as bad as throwing things into the Mystic Forge all day. And it was a lot more satisfying doing it this way. So, yeah, I really enjoyed this journey, and thank you guys for making it with me. Good luck on making your own legendary weapons, and have a happy Winter's Day.